signs your relationship is falling apart. We like to talk about equal rights and respecting each other's interests. In theory, it's all good. But as soon as it gets down to practice, everything appears in a different light. What seems to be an equality turns out to be unfairness. The question is, can you see it at first glance? Do you believe that financial independence from your partner is what you need? Do you sometimes have to deal with your stress and worries alone? Are you constantly compared with somebody else by your partner, especially when the comparison is not in your favor? Take a break and think for a moment. Maybe the horizons of your relationship are not so cloudless as you have believed them to be. In this video, you will get to know some frequently occurring situations. Perhaps they will help you to see your relationships from a new perspective. 10. Unequal spending of time and money on common needs. Every day you go out of your way to hurry for groceries after work and cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner because your partner's used to eating well. You get another job because you can't afford the whims of your beloved. Aren't your wages enough for two? Don't you think it's unfair? And you know what is even more unfair? When it is you who always sacrifices their feelings. You would probably agree that sometimes there are cases when you have to put aside whatever you feel to support your partner in a difficult situation. But if you have to do it constantly, well, it sucks. If the ground around your partner seems to be covered with eggshells and you are walking on them, stop and think. Very soon, you will feel completely emotionally drained and exhausted. 9. When only one of you benefits from living together. Your partner lives in your house and you share food expenses equally? Either of you have several bottles of products in the bathroom bought specifically for yourselves? You cook and clean up in turns? Seems everything is all right here, but still unfair. Also, it is very unfair in such a situation when there is no talk about the future when that is all you are waiting for. Sure, it doesn't refer to partners who've been only dating for a short period of time. Otherwise, it should be an alarming sign if your partner tries to avoid speaking about the future of your relationship by any means. They might not take it seriously or don't see you as their life partner, and it is just not fair to you. 8. Illusory financial and personal independence. You don't offer each other financial support in times of trouble because everyone knows money spoils relationships. There's even a saying that goes, if you want to lose a friend, lend him money. It's unfair. Another alarm bell here is if you are independent from each other not only financially, but with your free time as well. One day you might catch yourself thinking that you would rather spend an evening or two with your friends rather than with your partner. It's absolutely normal to spend time away from each other from time to time, but if this thought becomes your constant companion, and if you don't dream of having some quality time tete-a-tete with your partner, is this relationship working as it should? 7. You have no one to rely on and to trust. You know for sure you can't afford to fall ill because no one would take care of you. You think your partner will do well without your care because they're not your child. You can't ask them to look after your pet or flowers while you're away. You know, there's definitely something wrong with this relationship. The reason for concern is even more evident if there is no trust. Does your partner let you down all the time? They cancel meetings, forget about birthdays, fail to buy a much-needed medicine? It's upsetting, frustrating, but worst of all, it also kills the trust which exists between you. And what kind of relationship can it be without trust? 6. Face-to-face with stress. You quit trying to tell your partner about your feelings because you know there will be no compassion. All you'll hear will be a bit of indifferent, "Don't worry, everybody fails. You'll get over it." Oh, maybe you have just heard a warning bell. You don't ask each other for advice because you have no idea what the other's life is about. You don't feel support when you desperately need it. That's definitely not a sign of a harmonic relationship. Sometimes your beloved, instead of trying to help you to cope with the stress of everyday life, adds to it in a very peculiar way. Answer one question, please. Does your partner like to correct you whenever an opportunity arises? Well, it helps them to feel on top, making you feel stupid or belittled, especially if it is a common occurrence. If your position seems to be constantly one down, don't put up with it. You are worth so much more. 5. Blaming for not being able to do typically male or female work. You're reproached for not being able to repair a leaking pipe in the kitchen. You're shamed for your pasta, which is not nearly as delicious as your partner's mom's. You're required to start earning like a man or be a good housewife. It's unfair. And if such reproaches are followed by the silent treatment, too bad. It is a kind of emotional manipulation. You are unaware of what to expect and perhaps don't even know what you have done wrong. According to psychologists, the person who uses it longs for power and control of the situation. But that is not fair. 4. Negative comparison or jealousy. You have to listen to how wonderful her friend's husband is. You know all about the talents of his pal's wife. Somehow, everyone's forgotten that you were perfect at the beginning of your relationship. It's unfair. It seems you know where it might lead. Another problem you may have encountered can be constant jealousy. What did you talk with that girl about? Who was that guy I saw you with? Are such questions familiar to you? Even though, according to the statistics, cheating on a partner is the cause of 36% of divorces, there is no need to be unfaithful. Your partner will repeatedly get jealous anyway. Quite often, this negative feeling concerns both of you. Such emotions put a strain on the relationship, at the same time limiting the freedom of the partners. 3. Refusal to accept responsibility and deceit. Your kids aren't as gifted as your friends? The wallpaper in your common bedroom you chose together has somehow become the result of your bad taste. You're always blamed for everything that concerns you both? It's absolutely unfair. Worse than such accusations can only be deceit. Your partner tells you, "Hey, I was just hanging out with my colleagues in a bar near my work." But, in fact, they were noticed in a different part of town. So the question should come to your mind, why are they lying? If a relationship can't be built based on truth, there is no relationship. When you repeatedly question yourself if something your partner has told you is true, this relationship is not going to work out. 2. Unsuitable hobbies and annoying habits. Your philately collection takes up too much space? You interfere with a TV show because you sew too loudly? Is your hobby just weird? If you heard such things from your partner, it's time to pay attention. Because at the beginning of your relationship, your hobby didn't bother your partner at all. What has changed? What is more, there are these annoying tiny things. You have put your lotions all around the bathroom again. Is it so hard to take your cup to the kitchen? If these phrases are said without real anger hiding behind them, it's okay. But if the atmosphere is sizzling with actual irritation because of tiny mistakes you have made or harmless habits you have, something has gone wrong. 1. Own interests above all else. You find that you've got too little space on the shelves, although you occupy less than half. Several of your canvases have been thrown out because now it's easier to breathe. Your needs aren't equal to your partner's? Do you believe it's exactly the way relationships work? And maybe, just maybe, you don't feel loved. Every person on this planet wants to get some love. It's natural. And if this need isn't satisfied by your partner, or if they don't even know how to make you feel loved, it could mean the relationship you have might be doomed. One last thing to remember. If you feel any kind of dependency from your partner, be it emotional, psychological, or financial dependency, it's an important sign to rethink your relationship. Sometimes it is not too late to come to a compromise or persuade your partner to change their behavior. If you have ever found yourself in a situation similar to any of the ones we have described, press the like button and share your experience in the comments. Send this video to your friends and remember to subscribe to our channel.